Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Find Ways to Win. I'm your host, FitzgeraldStephens. Hope everybody's having a phenomenal day. Hoping you're living the life you want, the life you have chosen, and life you're out there creating. I want to talk to you guys about this on the subject matter of mind, movement, motivation. Mind, movement, motivation. And I'm going to break those down a little bit, and I want it to be thought of in those orders: mind, movement, motivation. Now, anytime you're looking to accomplish a goal, and remember, the main crux for this channel is you are responsible for your choices. So so I'm assuming that you have made up your mind for something that you want. You made up your mind for something that you want, and that's good. That's where it starts. The mind has to be engaged to get a picture of what you want to be, where you're trying to go, where you're trying to accomplish. Remember, God made the human being to think in pictures. We see in pictures. We see something first, and then we can bring it to pass. So our mind has to be focused and definitively clear about exactly what it is that we want. If you don't have that step, if your mind doesn't have a lock on exactly what you want, where you're going, nothing else is going to matter, because the mind is the foundation of any achievement. And so we have to be very, very clear about what we want. What price are we willing to pay for? What is the work going to be? How involvement are we going to be within it? Who do we need to help us accomplish these goals? What circumstances do we need to fall into place, or what circumstances do we need to create to make them fall into place? So we get in mind, and mind involves writing it down, writing what you want down. It's something magic when you put pen to paper and you start writing the stuff down, and you're putting it there, you're looking at it, you're recirculating it, and get a high, almost like lifelike picture in your mind of what you want, with it written on paper, so that paper gives you a blueprint. So we have to have the mind engaged first, and then I'm going to also talk to you about the second part of it. People think this should be some people advocate, no, Fitzgerald, it shouldn't be named mind. It shouldn't be named mind, movement, and motivation. You should call it mind, motivation, and movement. I want to present something to you, maybe a little different from what you heard. You must have movement. You must have movement. Now, after you have thought what you want to achieve, after you have crystallized what you want to achieve, after you have written it down, you put a blueprint together with phases, with a blueprint with timelines, deadlines, when exactly each phase should be accomplished. You put in a plan if you have to go a different way, but how do you still accomplish that goal? The number two thing that's more important than motivation is movement. You have got to take action in what your mind crystallized and what you written on paper. A lot of people get that backwards. See, they think they're going to move. They think they're going to have the motivation, and then the motivation is going to spur them into movement. Not so. Not so. Movement is a precursor before motivation. If you're moving, if you're engaged and you're actually doing the work, the motivation is going to automatically follow to continue to do the work. Especially if you're seeing that you're getting great results, especially if you're seeing that you're winning, especially if you see if you're achieving, especially if you're seeing that you're knocking goals down, and you're taking these steps, and you're accomplishing one by one, and bang, you automatically are walking in that goal. That's when the motivation comes. And that's the tail end. The motivation will come after the movement. When you start seeing success, when you start putting in the work, when you make your mind up that you're going to do what it takes, and you keep moving even though there are obstacles, you're going to have the motivation to keep continuing. Motivation comes right after movement, not before. You can't, you want to get yourself motivated, start moving. Start putting in the work to accomplish the goal. Start getting out there and just doing the action steps that it takes, and the motivation is going to automatically come. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and I was going over the title with him about what I want to bring to the 5 ways to win audience. And I told him name my title. I said, hey, name my title is going to be mind, movement, and then motivation. And he said, no, what about mind, motivation, then movement? And I used an example with him. I said, when you went to the gym today, you had made your mind up that you was going to go, right? Okay. Now, and you picked up your keys, you drove your car, and you went in there and you put in the work in the gym. Okay. Now, when you was actually working out and you was hitting the weights and doing what you need to do for your body, did the motivation come? He said, yeah. I said it came because you was doing the work. The motivation came, but the motivation comes like, hey, I need to press this. I need to press this weight. I need to lift this steel, and while I'm doing that, the motivation starts coming because you're actually putting in the work first. You're doing the movement first. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so very paramount that we understand that you have to put things in their proper steps. Things must be properly aligned before you can actually achieve the results that you're looking for. We make up our mind to do something. We formulate our mind. We get a crystal clear picture of where we want to go, what we want to accomplish, who we want to be, what we want to be. We get a clear, definitive picture. Then we put pen to paper. We write out our goals. We write out a blueprint. Why is it necessary to write out a blueprint? Because something incredible happens when you put pen to paper and you're looking at this. Okay, these are the action steps. Oh, that's a good term. These are the action steps that I need to bring into pass what my mind has saw. You can even supercharge it. Let's just say you want a house. Let's just say you want a particular body style or body type you're working on. You want to lose weight and stuff, or anything you want to achieve. You can go ahead and get pictures of that and hang them on your mirror and hang them in your wall and hang them in the bedroom and place it in your car. Something that your mind can clearly keep seeing that image that you set forth. Okay, but you better be doing the movement. You better be putting in the work. You better be doing the necessary action steps, and you better be constantly, persistently taking actions in order to bring to pass what the mind has saw. And then only then will the motivation come. Never before. It's not motivation, mind, movement. You have to be moving, and then the motivation keeps coming. The more results you get, the more motivation is going to come because you're liking what you're seeing. You're getting closer to realizing your goal, closer to achieving that goal, closer to accomplishing that. You're seeing results. You're looking at your checkbook, it's growing. You're looking at your body, it's growing, or you're losing weight, or you're looking at your career choices. You're taking necessary steps. You're coming in the entry level, then you get promoted to semi-management, then you get promoted to management, then you get promoted to area management, then you get promoted to executive management, and then vice presidency, and then the presidency. Easy. Easy as long as you're putting in the work. Now, the motivation is like, wow, I got this promotion, or wow, this I'm seeing results, or man, I'm seeing my checkbook grow, or I'm seeing I'm getting better in my relationships. I'm seeing I'm having a better interaction with my spouse. I'm seeing I'm seeing that muscles are coming where I didn't think they should. I didn't think they should be. I'm seeing that. Wow, I'm being able to put more money away. I'm being able to purchase more goods and services to invest in my life to make it better and things. And so I like these results so much. I'm motivated to keep doing this because I'm seeing I'm getting results. I'm seeing I'm getting results because I'm putting the work in. Mind, movement, then motivation. You have got to let that be one of the mantras of your life. And you can't get the steps backwards. You can't, but plenty of times people have made up their mind to do something, and then they try to search for someone else to give them the motivation or to tell them what they ought to be doing in the first place. That's backwards. And that doesn't serve you. And that will waste a lot of time in your life. You have got to move once you make your mind up. And when is the time to move? Right the heck now. You can't sit up there wasting time, just keep going over something in your mind, 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 but you're not moving. And if you're not moving, how do you expect the motivation to come? You know, and if the motivation to come, how do you expect to get the results? The results feed the motivation. The motivation doesn't feed the results. The results feed motivation. Motivation does not feed the results. You got to be hungry like the wolf. You got to get out there and get it. You got to be out there about it. You know, once you make up your mind, you keep that blueprint in front of you, looking at your goals. You know, going to go visit those houses, going to go looking at those pictures of the fitness models, or if that's one thing that you want, look at those travel brochures, looking at the stuff, and then that's going to put you in the movement where you're going to work harder to make that thing come to pass. You're going to put in the work to necessarily to bring those things into fruition for us what your mind has decided. And then once you put the work, you're going to celebrate the baby steps. You're going to celebrate the accomplishing, and that's going to keep giving you more motivation, and then it's going to enforce your mind, which is going to force your movements, which is going to force your motivation, and the circle repeats until you have accomplished your goal. You use this to accomplish each and every goal, and this is guaranteed to be a dang game changer. So you're guaranteed to be a winner. It will get you the results. Now, for those of you who sit up there and say, "Well, Fitzgerald, what if I'm not seeing the results right away?" Don't stop the movement. Things take time, ladies and gentlemen, and we live in a culture that likes to sometimes short circuit the process. I don't believe in that. There are better ways to do work. I will admit that, but you ultimately got to lay a strong foundation, and you got to put in the work before you're going to see the results. You just have to. You can't just go. You can't just go to your favorite motivator, and I have a couple myself. Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone. Ty Best, many great leaders who have said some phenomenal things. But you know what? If I don't sit out there and put movement in, they can say all kinds of great things, but it's not going to help me. Movement, the motivation is not going to bring the results without the movement. So focus on that. Be very, very crystal clear about that. And then we'll let you guys go. Thank you for tuning in. Make it happen.